Hey guys, Ashley Bowden here for The Buzz. We are in studio with Emmy Award-winning dancer, choreographer, actress, singer, director, plus one of your favorites from So You Think You Can Dance, Comfort Fedeoke.
Hey,
Comfort.
what's up? I am good. How are you? Thank you for
Good.
having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for being here. I'm so excited for this girl talk.
Come on.
We gonna get into it. First of all, how has the beginning of the year been treating you?
You know what? It's been good. Like I just got back in the country. I try to find my way to to travel back and forth ever since I've been out the country in London for a while.
Okay.
It's been my new little home, I guess, my new little home base. But the year has been beautiful, but also it's up and down. It's been a mixture of events, to be quite honest.
Happening.
It's been a mixture. So it's really hard to say it's going great. But it's we're alive and well and healthy, and we'll see what the rest of the week
and we're thankful for that.
We're thankful for that. Yes. Absolutely.
Now, you've done such an amazing job of carving out your own path, your own unique path, since your days as a contestant on So You Think You Can Dance.
Woo.
From being a creative to going into associate choreographer for Wicked. What would you say, other than talent, has been your secret sauce to being successfully booked and busy?
Ooh. Honestly, I feel like there is no secret sauce to being honestly in this industry. It's really up and down. You know what I mean? Honestly, I feel like the only thing that I can give myself credit for is probably the relationships.
Right.
Like being able to have really solid, authentic relationships with people, and being able to have be remembered by a director or another choreographer or a casting director or a producer, and just being able to have all of these different friends in different spaces and have worked with them on jobs, and then later on haven't seen them in however long, and then all of a sudden they come, you come in their minds, right. or vice versa, they come in your mind when you're working on the project, and because you've built such an honest relationship, right. Things just start to grow, because you never want to really burn bridges in this space, and I think maybe that's just what it is, where I've been able to find the longevity because of that.
No, you're very warm and engaging, so I could see you making an impact and being memorable. And speaking of relationships, you have been so vocal about your support of Twitch. Since the beginning, you guys have been friends for a very long time. He's up and down your timeline. You guys are day ones, have been day ones with each other. Why has it been so important for you to speak out about everything that's been going on? There's been a lot of headlines and talk around social media. Why has it been so important for you to speak out?
I think it's been so important for me because there's always multiple sides to a story, right? And I think it's important, if someone can't speak for themselves, that there's other people that can speak on behalf. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's hard, especially in this industry, where you feel like you have to stay silent about something, because you're like, oh, we don't want to choose sides just yet because that might make one look bad, or whatever the case may be. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm from the South. I have a Nigerian father and a Alabamian mom. My roots still stem from being authentic and honest when I need to be, and quiet when I need to be, and straightforward when I have to be. And a lot of times, I don't actually speak a lot on social media like that. Social media, I don't ever really use it as this super I guess this world where I need to be mad at everyone and find a way to attack. I'd never use social media for that. But when it comes down to holding someone's memory down and their family down, and that part of it is going to forever be important to me, because that was fam. No matter what, that was brother to me. You know what I mean? And so I think it's important to remember him the way we need to remember him, and the way I know he would want to be remembered. You know what I mean? So I hold that strong no matter what.
Yeah, and aside from him being family, he definitely left such a strong and powerful, impactful legacy.
Yes, he did.
Touched so many people. So
man,
it's great that you spoke out and who Twitch actually was.
Who actually was, and of course we all have a multiple amount of ways to receive him and see him, but I think it's the way you do it is always going to be important. You know what I mean? It's who you do it with and who you do it for and what you're doing it for, and that's what I question. I question authenticism all the time, no matter what.
Yeah. Now, speaking of you questioning the authenticity of the conversation that's been going on, you have obviously been vocal about your opinions on Allison's interview with People Magazine. But there was a time where you guys were both judges on So You Think You Can Dance. You were a judge earlier in the season. She was a judge later in the season. What was that dynamic like for you guys on set?
Grace. I held grace. I never actually, I never lead with hate and disrespect. I lead with observation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I observe people in their most interesting moments, and that was a moment to observe. It was hard in spirit because there's a lot of questions I had, but it just wasn't the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Yeah. Where do you think you go from here? There's been obviously a lot of contention between the family and close friends at Twitch and Allison's camp. Where can everybody go from here moving forward?
I think we'll go. You know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. What's done in the dark will come into the light. Right. You know what I mean?
You did say that. I read it.
You know what I mean? And it's about patience. I speak to the family a lot. Okay. You know what I mean? And I ride for them all day. When they say ride, I say how many calls we picking up.
Yeah.
And it's just really just patience. You know what I mean? You know, things will reveal itself the way it is, and it has been. You know what I mean? We can't even start the year 2025 without the amount of things that's being revealed. You know what I mean? The day this all happened, LA burnt. You know what I mean? It was like fire was set the day that you know, all of this energy came out. So, you know, it's going to reveal itself, you know what I mean? And I think patience is going to be like, and trust the process within what it is. You know, don't believe everything you hear in aspects, you know what I mean? Hold grace on everyone's end and the pain that everyone is feeling at the same time. And you know, and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that approach.
Truth will prevail.
It
will prevail.
It will, and it has so far.
Yeah.
So we'll just see. Well, let's get back to talking about your journey.
Yeah.
So you have worked with the likes of Rihanna, Missy Elliott. Now, in those roles, you were more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But you've also done on-camera work, hosting work.
Yeah.
You did a Red Bull, Dance Your Style.
Yeah, I love the street dance world.
Yes, yes. What do you prefer? Like, where's your passion? Is it on camera, behind the scenes? Do you have a preference? Or are you?
You know what? I think I have to live in both worlds. Both worlds have to live in me, because if I only have too much industry, then I feel like I lose myself as a individual, because the industry, a lot of times that's based upon like what they want to see you as, and you kind of have to dive into a certain box and be a certain dancer, you know what I mean? And follow a certain guideline. And as a freestyler or like a battler, or, you know, being a part of those bits, that is complete improvisation. That's completely yourself in the highest degree that it can be, and off the top of the dome. And so I love those spaces, and I think that I need both to be able to coexist in this industry, or I would go absolutely crazy. So I try, as I was navigating myself through this industry, try to find a balance between both of those worlds.
Quick pivot, right?
Quick,
but in front of the camera, behind the scenes.
Yeah. But I think what helped it is because I knew how to, let's say, think on the spot.
Yeah.
And be spontaneous on the spot, and not someone who just needs to like take a moment and like figure it out. I think it's helped me in a lot of jobs, where a lot of times, if let's say I didn't get the job as the dancer in it, they was like, we're just bringing you in as a specialty. Could you just come in and freestyle?
Oh, wow.
Can you just come in and just do that and get paid the same thing? And you'd be like, too easy. Like, you know, just come to the freestyle audition. Too easy. Like, you know what I mean? So, there's some perks to it, where then I was like, I want to be able to, you know, be respected in both worlds. And so when you can be that for a choreographer or a director, or, you know, a producer, then, you know, you become the whole package in that aspect. And so, you know, that's why I feel like both have to, you know, coexist in my life.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So I know we've interviewed you quite a bit.
On the So You Think
on the So You Think You Can Dance set. But I don't think we've ever talked about your name, like the origin of your name, Comfort.
We didn't.
Let's get into it. What does it mean?
Okay, so my whole name is Comfort Ogeneruro Fedeoke.
Okay.
And Ogeneruro is it means child of God.
Okay.
And I am Yoruba Irobo as well.
Mm-hmm.
Delta State Wari on my dad's side. And Comfort is my grandmother's name. And so it's a very common name actually in Nigeria.
In the Nigerian culture.
Yeah, it's a very common name in Nigeria. Like the amount of comforts that was hitting me up on Facebook at one point, I was like, like I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
But it's a common name like Brittany, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Or
Okay.
you know what I mean? It's a common name. Or they do commonly make or have names such as. And so my family and my friends back at home, well, it starts from my family, doesn't call me Comfort out of respect because that's my father's mother. So he doesn't call me Comfort, so they call me CO as a nickname. But yeah, that's my origin. That's my name. Fedeoke, last name means rich in a day. There's like this huge story and origin about that. That's crazy that my dad broke down to me. But you know, it's cool to kind of be able to. It took a while to love it when I was growing up because I did love it. But you know, of course, you get teased as a kid all the time. Took me a minute to learn how to spell my middle name, so I'll just be like, "How many letters is that?" So it was, it was a lot growing up. But then once I kind of took in the space, it was like, nah, I'm different than y'all, or at least I know where I'm from. Let me hold on to that and make that cool. You know
that's
what I mean?
Beautiful. Yeah, no, that's what's up. So I know you just got back from London. You were working on a couple projects. Yeah.
I was in London for a couple of years. I first got there from doing Wicked. The new film Wicked that's now out and blazing and getting mad love right now.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I know people that went to go see it 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please run up the numbers, run them up, continue it, because it's putting musical theater and dance on an entire different level on the platform. And it's time, you know what I mean? It's a blessing to be a part of that.
Yeah. How was it working on set? Like, what was your day-to-day like?
Day-to-day was psycho. First off, just even getting the job. So Christopher Scott is the lead choreographer, is the head choreographer of Wicked. And I helped him in more of a skeleton crew where like right beforehand, you just kind of like get a group together to kind of understand the visual of what it's going to be and what's going to come up on the movie. And sometimes we use that skeleton crew, or sometimes we use what we did and practiced on, and sometimes we don't. And that's what I was there for at the beginning. And then he asked me last minute, maybe a week, or I think it was a Monday. And he was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I was like, just moved into my new spot. And he was like, "Would you move to London this weekend?"
Oh my goodness.
For how long, bro? For like a year. For a year?
Oh,
bro. Count me in. Like I wasn't going to say no, but you know what I mean? But I gave myself a day to think about it because I was like, that's a lot. And I think from August we started, and that was rehearsals, and then December, and then it was just like learning everything because we assume it's just as the choreographers, you're like, you just do the dance, and then no, we were very hands-on with with John Chu and with Paul, with Paul Townsend, and who, with Alice, the DP, like with everyone who played a part in building these worlds. We had to creatively be connected with them as well and be, insightful with what it is and let them know what we're doing. And so all of that at a time was like so grand and so big because these worlds were being built simultaneously. And we didn't have sometimes the actual rehearsal spaces that looked like the actual set. So we had to like create the rehearsal space to look like it, but it would never really be the same until you get on set. So things would have to change. So it was massive. It was one of the biggest things I actually have ever done. And working with such incredible talent, such as we got to work with, it was just always like, but then keeping it inside and being like, we're cool. We're cool. It's all good. And because they also have a great energy, you don't ever feel that like anxiety with them anyway. So it's like everything was just really, it was meant to be. It was super cool.
So you said you were associate choreographer on Wicked. What does that role mean?
Okay, so associate choreographer, it's pretty much someone who we contribute to the choreography within the vision of the lead choreographer. And so in this case, that would be Christopher Scott. So a lot of times when you come in as an associate choreographer, you like refine the choreography. You get to create some things yourself, as long as it's underneath the umbrella and the vision of the choreographer. So a lot of times on this job in particularly, Chris Scott couldn't be in multiple places at once, right? And so there'll be a lot of times where Chris will work with Emilio Dosal and work on some ideas. And then if he needs to go away, Emilio continues to create and build, and he'll come back and he'll approve it.
Okay.
And vice versa. Me and Chris Scott, we worked on the Ozdesk together, and which is an classic now feel like moment in the movie. And I built a lot of the choreography with him and along with him, but underneath, his vision. But then I can, he can walk away, and then I get to refine it and build a little bit more on the talent on Cynthia or on Ariana. And then it gets approved by, of course, our lead choreographer. But at the same time, that we get to hold a little bit more power in the sense of being respected, in knowing that we are taking the choreographer's visions to another level, and or making sure that there's the continuity in that space. So that then makes sure, and the co-choreographer turns into something completely different, because as a co-choreographer, you end up being artistically in the same level, and you get to share different visions that go along the same path. So as an associate on the job, it was so important to know that there are very important roles in the choreography world, you know what I mean? And that we are literally standing hand in hand with our directors and with our cinematographers, making sure that our vision at the same time is being read properly through their vision. And so as long as we understand what their vision is, they can understand ours, and then that's where the collaborative space is. And then so if our lead choreographer can't be in the space to speak to the director and to our DP, then as an associate we get to come in and say, hey team, this is what's happening, this is what we're doing, this is what's going on, and we get to be able to like hold the space down in that way. And I think I just think it's important for people to understand those roles and what that means, and in our industry, because there is a little bit of a, there's confusion of what a choreographer to an associate to a co-choreographer to an assistant. And I think through time it's changed, but it's nice to know that as an associate choreographer, we still hold so much respect for our choreographers while still holding respect for ourselves, which is a beautiful space to be in.
And I would have never guessed that it was such a collaborative effort, that you guys really are working as a team. I didn't realize it was a team of choreographers.
Yes, it was a team of us.
I only see one sometimes when we see behind the scenes footage.
But no, it is a village. Because when you stay for the credits, you see the millions of people that's in that mug. And so when it comes down to the choreography part, in this, I have to give the shout out. Obviously, Chris Scott is our lead choreographer, but then we had Emilio Dosal, and we had Will Loftus as associate, and then myself. And then our assistant was Leah Hill, and she's a resident out in London. And just being smart to build a team is what it is. Like when you're doing something as grand as Wicked the film, you have to tell yourself, as maybe the head choreographer, that you can't visually do all of these things by yourself, because you don't have the capacity to know all those different styles, right, that you want to be able to bring to the movie. And then so you bring in people like he is brought in. I think Chris is a very smart choreographer in this business who knows how to collaborate with people and know how to bring people in to give exactly what a visual or a director would need in the project. And so I thought it was just I think it's just so important for people to know that, that it takes such a team. And then this team, that's the team that he brought in, and we did it.
What tips would you give to aspiring creatives, aspiring dancers?
Oh man, I say continue just to be sponges and collaborative individuals, you know, just stay collaborative, stay connected with more than one thing. You know what I mean? I consider myself a dance artist. I've been placed into a box as maybe just a hip hop dancer, and you know, and maybe the show has done that for me, which is beautiful. But I have collectively gained way too much arsenal of new movement that has built me into this space, and continuing to do that has made me someone who can be relied on in so many different ways. And so you want to be reliable and adaptable in those spaces. So as long as you keep building that adaptability in yourself as a creative, sky's the limit. Oh no, the sky is not the limit. The space at this point, we in Mars. Mars is the limit.
Yes. Yes, I love that. That is so amazing. Congratulations
Thank you
on that. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
Other projects are coming up? What are you working on?
What I'm working on. Well, when I just got back, I stayed after for a year, and I got offered to choreograph and help be an associate choreographer as well again on Cabaret, the West End musical. Okay. So musicals are my life now. Yeah, I never would have thought that.
I think you're leaning into something here.
Maybe there's something coming. Yes. A little brew happening. So yeah, I stayed to work on that, and I love it, and I loved it. And I was like, oh man, this world is beautiful. I stayed for a year to work on that. And now I'm back, and I think right now I've been like focused on multiple amount of things. I do still love acting. I still do love dancing. I want to be more of like, you know, a head choreographer in certain things that I do. I've done a lot of choreography jobs, but I just want to, you know, probably focus more onto those spaces and things like that. I've created like my own intensives that I'm working on, and I've opened up and created my own nonprofit that I'm doing called Comfort's Closet. I love clothes, but I also love giving back, and so I'm doing like a lot of different things that I'm just trying to find ways to find purpose into why I do what I do, but still do it in a way where I can give back through the arts, you know what I mean? And so it's just about like finding my footing within this industry, you know, and not just following what the mold or the assumption that, or not being the vision that people, you know, assume they want you to be. They're like, I'm in the eyes in a certain way, and I'm like, okay, I'm being looked at in a certain way, or I'm not being viewed in a certain way, but I really want to be viewed in the way that I want to be viewed in my life right now. So it's like finding that for myself has been like the space I'm in this year, which has been nice.
That's powerful. That's powerful. How can people donate to Comfort's Closet too? I want to give folks an opportunity to do that.
Well, okay, right now if you follow me on my Instagram, I'm building the site and everything. When I've opened up my store, it's called Not Comfort Zone Store. So it's in a comfort zone store, and then you can follow that, or you can follow my page, which will link you into that, which is my Comfort's Closet page. And and I'm gonna create a whole bunch of content, and right now I'm already donating. I'm doing a lot of donating and creating content, but also donating a lot of my clothes and things to Pasadena and Altadena's fires and stuff like that, and being able to get very specific things to, especially some of the girls who, you know, there's very specific things that they need, and and just start from there. And then whatever, you know, I sell and the things that I, you know, build and create, the proceeds will be going to very specific nonprofit organizations. And so I just love it. Like, it's been like my new little, it's been something, it's been my little space for some years now. It's just been finding the time to like take time and do it, because you know, when you're on everyone else's time and working on everyone else's dime, it takes you a while to kind of come back to yourself. So I can see that.
So where can fans follow you? Where can people keep up with all of your creative pursuits and successes?
Whoop whoop. Okay, you can follow me on, it's literally at Comfort Fedeoke, Fedoke, Fedeoke, which is my tagline. You can find that on any YouTube, Instagram, we'll see TikTok, and all the social media platforms.
Okay. So have you heard any word about So You Think You Can Dance for the upcoming season? Are you going to be a part of it?
Oh man, you know what? I have no word on what So You Think is going to bring this season, and if it's going to come back, because I feel like every year it's always hanging on a little bit of a string if it's going to come back or not. There's always that like boop, and we're back. You know what I mean? So I really don't know. I mean, I hope it comes back. I hope you know, a lot of people weren't necessarily excited about like the amount of different new formats that they had. You know what I mean? I think some people want to see that top 20 format again.
Yes.
And so we'll see if they, you know, come back with something different, and hopefully they do. And hopefully I get to be a part of it in a different scale, you know?
I hope so too. I hope you are a seasoned regular judge on there. There you go. Speaking something else into existence.
I would love that.
Well, thank you so much, Comfort.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure to talk to you. Best of luck to you in your pursuits and continued success.
Thank you.
Continued success.
Thank you so
You're
much.
killing it, girl.
Appreciate you. Hey, what's up? My name is Comfort Fedeoke, and you've just been buzzed. I'm a chef cook and I'm about to roast. Flavor so potent, make you overdose. Flavor so rich, begging for a taste. I'm the main course, y'all leftover waste. We the secret sauce, spicing up a plot. When we serve it up, you know we ain't gon' stop. Don't be disrespectful.